I know we've asked this before, but it's looking more and more like Juju Lewis to Colorado is becoming a done deal. And there was something that took place recently that makes that even more clear that Coach Prime and the Buffs could potentially have their quarterback of the future wrapped up fairly soon. Let's talk about it and what it means and what just recently happened that makes me feel that way, even more confident after the bumper. Stay tuned. What is going on, everybody? What is going on, everybody? My name is JeffLightsyJr. This is the Victory Formation Sports Show right here on JeffLightsYr, YouTube, Facebook, wherever you get your content. Do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button, like, share, subscribe, and the notification bell because I upload all the time. Now, Juju Lewis is one of the highest rated quarterbacks in the class of 2025. 5-star, high 4-star, depending on what services you use. On 3247 are the ones that I like the most, and they have him as a 5-star. He is someone who has made 4 trips to Boulder since the spring to go see Coach Prime, to go see the Buffs, to hang out with Shador, all of those things since he has been really, really actively being recruited by the Colorado Buffaloes. He is currently committed to USC, but USC is a dumpster fire right now. USC, Lincoln Riley, they're under 500. Colorado 6-2. USC's future looks bleak. Colorado's future looks like it's on the up and up. Even though they'll be losing Shador and losing Travis after this season, the Colorado's trajectory looks like this, whereas USC's at best is standing pat. And with the leaving of Shador Sanders off to the NFL, and where he will more than likely be the number 1 quarterback off the board, which very well means he could be the number 1 overall draft pick. It's another feather in the cap of Colorado, by the way. That makes the Buffs even more appealing for one Juju Lewis. But there was a school, or there is a school. I'm not going to say they're out, but there is a school that if you would have before the season started, just didn't sound right. That Colorado was going to be in a recruiting battle with to flip Juju Lewis from USC. Now, USC has his current commitment, and Lincoln Riley has had Kyler Murray, Baker Mayfield, Caleb Williams all win Heisman's under his tutelage. And then Jalen Hurts came in second and is now one of the highest paid quarterbacks in the NFL. And so all of that works well for Lincoln Riley. But before the season, there was this buzz around Indiana and Juju Lewis. And it was like, Indiana, what? Like, that don't make sense. But Kirk Cignetti saw Juju Lewis, identified him, and got in good with the family. And he's made a trip there, and Cignetti has been on top of it. Well, now Indiana's 9-0, and they're ranked in the top 10 of the college football playoff rankings. And Kirk Cignetti's got those guys flying all over the field, and their offense looks really, really fun and high potent. And Indiana's still in the thick of it with Juju Lewis. At least we think they are, because Rivals 247, everybody who's anybody, reported that Juju Lewis would be making a trip to Indiana this weekend to go see their game. Once again, the Hoosiers are 9-0, or they had just been ranked. They've gotten College Game Day. They showed out when College Game Day came to town. They had that for the first time ever. And they were ranked in the top 10 of the college football playoff rankings. So it makes perfect sense for Juju Lewis, who is a 5-star quarterback, Indiana, whose offense has been one of the better offenses in the entire country. That makes perfect sense now. It didn't before the season. Makes a lot of sense now. And that visit had been scheduled. He's shown great interest in Indiana. That is no surprise there. But then this report came out. Let me go ahead and share my screen and why it looks like more and more every day that Coach Prime and the Buffs are closing in on this recruitment, because this is a legitimate reporter. It says, I have been told that Juju Lewis will not be in Bloomington on Saturday for Indiana football game against Michigan. Now, when you see stuff like this, and it hasn't been reported by On3 or 247 or whoever, you have to make sure the credentials of the person who's tweeting this out are legit. And then you look at Jim Coyle, Kylie's dad, but he's a publisher on Hoosier.com. So that means he lives in Bloomington, Indiana. He's a publisher. And what does that mean? He's not just like an egg avatar, Twitter gossip blog type of guy. This is a guy who has legitimate credibility and legitimate sources and credibility to lose. See, that's the thing about, Jim Doyle, people like myself. When you report on things, You have to look at who's sending the message. And if someone has credibility to lose, which they don't want to lose, or access to lose, what they don't want to lose, you check their credentials. And this guy has legitimate credentials. Like he's legit. He's on radio. He does podcasts. He's on Hoosier.com. He writes. He has a solid amount of followers, 5,200. He's a legit reporter with credentials to lose. And he is someone, he's not in the business of putting out bad news against Indiana. He lives in Bloomington, Indiana. He wants the Hoosiers to get Juju Lewis. Like, he wants the Hoosiers to get one of the better quarterbacks in the entire country. He wants them to land this top-ranked prospects. He wants Kurt Cignetti to continue to have success. It makes his job more fun and more easy. It's better that way. And so with him putting it out there, it made that eyebrow raise. Made my eyebrow raise. I did the rock eyebrow. And I'm like, why would Juju Lewis? I can't even do it if I'm not holding it up. Why would Juju Lewis cancel his visit, postpone his visit, whatever, to Indiana? Well, it's not because USC is doing better and he's just super locked in with them. It's not because Indiana doesn't want him or Indiana isn't rolling right now and don't have a chance to make another statement against Michigan this weekend. Well, why would he want to do that? Well, this weekend was a bye week for Colorado. What do coaches and teams do during bye week? Yeah, they rest and recover and things like that. But they also recruit, and they recruit heavy. Juju Lewis is in the state of Georgia. You don't think Coach Prime and his staff were making moves, even if it wasn't a visit to the state of Georgia? You don't think they were making moves, putting in phone calls, getting in contact with Juju Lewis, who I think is their number one priority on the recruiting trail right now? I think they were. And I think they are closing in on one of the biggest recruiting wins since they've been at Colorado. Now, the biggest recruiting win for them as of right now has been Jordan Seaton since they've been at Colorado. The biggest recruiting win for Coach Prime has been Travis Hunter, of course. Getting Travis Hunter to come to Jackson State, and then of course to follow him to Colorado. But the biggest recruiting win for the Buffs and for Coach Prime since he's been at Colorado, hold on, let me see something because I want to show you all something as well, has been the Jordan Seaton win. He got Jordan Seaton on Undisputed. That was a big deal. Jordan Seaton came in and immediately filled a position of need, left tackle. You could argue at the time, I'm not seeing it long term, but at the time you could also say Cormani McClain, but Cormani McClain wasn't an impact player. He didn't play much his freshman year, then transferred out immediately, and then had some issues therein and therefore. But Jordan Seaton was a big win because Jordan Seaton, legit 5-star, came in and immediately filled the biggest need on their team at the time, which is offensive line, and has started every single game, played every single snap, and has continued to get better. And now he's looking like a future first-round pick at left tackle. So that has been the biggest win for them since they've been at Colorado. This would be the second biggest win because, once again, it fills an immediate need. Because Shador's off to the NFL. He could probably come in and instantly start. I think he will. I think they're pitching it to him as if they will. And that's not foreign territory for Colorado. They start their freshmen who are the truth. If you're the truth, you're going to start. Jordan Seaton, he started. Draylon Miller, he came in. I don't know if he started, but he played right away. That was the plan for Cormani McClain too. But the rumors came out that he was missing class. He wasn't studying, all of that stuff. And when he played, he made some plays, but he couldn't get out of his own way. And that seemed to be the case. That's why he had to walk on to Florida. It seemed like some of that stuff was true. I wasn't a fan of how they put some of that stuff out during the time. You can go back and watch my videos. I really wasn't a fan of how they were doing it, but it turned out to seem to be some kind of true because he can't even play at Florida, or he had to walk on there. And now with USC, this is also critical to the recruitment of Juju Lewis because, once again, he is currently committed to USC. But this just came out. This came out in the last couple of days. Jaden Maeva, and they saying aka Sam Darnold 2.0, he is now the starting quarterback for USC. Jaden Maeva is a transfer from UNLV. I want to say he's a redshirt sophomore. He will be the starter, and this is USC with the official graphic. He will be the starter for the Trojans starting this weekend against Nebraska. does this mean? Well, Jaden Maeva is a younger player. Now, I don't want to be misconstrued when I say this. Do I think Juju Lewis is scared of competition? No, he's not. I'm not going to say he's scared of competition. But Miller Moss was supposed to be the plan at USC. And Miller Moss was supposed to play this year, have a great year, and potentially come out in a weak quarterback draft. Outside of Shedeur and Cam Ward, there are no first-round picks at quarterback, I don't think. Somebody will get pushed up, whether it's Garrett Nussmeier or Quinn Ewers or somebody. But Cam Ward and Shedeur are the only two first-round picks, and those two guys are going to go in the top 3. But outside of them, this quarterback draft is kind of weak. And so Miller Moss had an opportunity to catapult into the first round or high in the draft this year if he had a great season. Well, that's not the case. Hell, he's been benched. And so now you put in Jaden Maeva, who is a little younger, but he's got 3 or 4 years to play. I think he was only a redshirt freshman or redshirt sophomore, and they're playing him already. If you're Juju Lewis and say this kid is good, I think he is pretty good. He's a transfer from UNLV. I don't want to waste my time waiting 2 to 3 years to potentially play when I can go for a program that's struggling right now. When I could go to a program who seems to be on the up and up, they're telling me they're not just handing me the job, but they're tossing me the keys. There's literally a picture of Deion Sanders dropping a set of keys to Juju Lewis. Basically, I'm giving you the keys to the castle. You're next up. And you know Prime is going to play him. He's going to give him ample opportunity to come win the job, and hell is probably going to prefer him to win the job, just like he preferred Shedeur to win the job at Jackson State and already said when he took the job at Colorado, he's got his quarterback. They believe Juju Lewis has that type of talent. He won Player of the Year as a sophomore in the state of Georgia in the highest classification. He's a stud. He's got 30 some odd touchdowns and like 4 or 5 interceptions this year. When he's supposed to be a junior, he's a senior. He skipped his whole junior year and may win Georgia Player of the Year. This dude is a stud, and they believe it. And I think we're inching closer and closer to this being a done deal, Juju Lewis to the Buffs. USC struggling. He's canceling Indiana visits. I think Coach Prime and the Buffs are in the catbird seat on the recruitment of Juju Lewis, and I think the flip is going to happen relatively soon. Leave your thoughts in the comments down below. Leave your thoughts. Early signing period is in December, by the way. Juju's going to make a decision soon. He's probably going to enroll for the springtime, and early signing day is in December. He's got to make a decision soon, and I think it'll be Colorado. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Once again, my name is Jeff Lightsy Jr. This is the Victor Formation Sports Show right here on Jeff Lightsy Jr. YouTube, Facebook, wherever you get your content. Do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button, like, share, subscribe. Also hit the notification bell because I upload all the time. And you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at JLightsy7. That is on X and Twitter at JLightsy7. Thank you guys for tuning in. I will see you next time. Peace.